A Promise to the Dying, the story of Chief Standing Bear. In the cold January of 1879, a small band of Ponca Indians, led by Chief Standing Bear, began a sorrowful journey north. They were defying the United States government, but their purpose was not war or rebellion, it was a father's promise. Just a year earlier, the Ponca had been forcibly removed from their ancestral lands in Nebraska, marched south to the strange and unforgiving Indian Territory in present-day Oklahoma. The journey was brutal, and the new land was no home. Sickness and starvation became their unwelcome companions. Among the many who perished was Standing Bear's own 16-year-old son. On his deathbed, the boy extracted a single, solemn promise from his father, that he would not be buried in this foreign soil, but in the sacred ground of their ancestors by the Niobrara River. With his son's bones carefully bundled, Standing Bear and a small group of his people set off on a 600-mile trek back to their homeland. They walked for weeks through the harsh winter. Their return to Nebraska was not met with homecoming celebrations, but with arrest. Under orders from the government, General George Crook and his soldiers detained the Ponca at Fort Omaha. They were to be sent back to the Indian Territory. The case, Standing Bear versus George Crook, went to trial in a small Omaha courtroom. The government's argument was simple. An Indian was not a person under the law and therefore had no right to sue. Then, Standing Bear rose to speak. Through an interpreter, his words, filled with quiet dignity and profound sorrow, captivated the courtroom. He held out his hand and said, "That hand is not the color of yours, but if I prick it, the blood will flow, and I shall feel pain. The blood is of the same color as yours. God made me, and I am a man." He spoke of his journey, of the promise to his son, and of his desire to live in peace on the land of his fathers. "You are that man," he said, looking directly at Judge Elmer Dundy. "You have the power to release me." On May 12, 1879, Judge Dundy made his historic ruling. For the first time in a U.S. federal court, it was declared that an Indian was a person within the meaning of the law and was entitled to its protections. Standing Bear and his people were free. He had not only fulfilled his promise to his son, but had also won a landmark victory for the rights and humanity